Yo, yo, welcome to Matt. I'm Hayshaun.
Touché, Mack.
ZoeMan Lui here. What's up, folks?
Today we got a good show for you. ZoeMan Lui gonna start off and let's get it rocking, fam.
I'm sorry for starting off with cleaning my potholes, but
Sorry, we all
I
do it.
uh I I got something that struck me. Well, for two reasons. One, because it's personal at home, because I'll get to the point. So I used to I moved to Minnesota because I was relocated over here from a job. And there, when I was working, I was talking to one of those fellas. So first of all, there's like, it's not many actual like African American that, that are in working there. So it's just a very few of us. And then like me and this guy, we kept talking. He was a smoking, I was smoking. We were outside and we chatting, and we got into the conversation of like women in general. And at the time, I was dealing with my situation in Sweden, and he's aware that my girl at the time was white, but I I asked him about a particular girl in there because I saw them chatting up, and he told me, "Oh no, I'm not interested." He was appalled by my question, in a
Okay.
sense, like how could you? But like I should have known already, or I should sense it that he's exclusively into white women, and that's a brother, you
Okay.
know.
Okay.
And he goes on. I had to get some weed from him, and I went over there. We're waiting. Another fellow showed up. It's his friend, and we chatted up. And he too is the same way, like exclusively, they only date white women. And then that usually this thing like, oh my god, that's alarming because I mean I know I could feel it already. I could hear conversations like from my even my teenage daughters. The dearth, it's like it's not many good, solid black men. And the only few that are standing up tend to gravitate towards, you know, white women. And that's alarming because they're being left with no option. And this is a conversation like that's been happening since like for a very long time.
I think I wouldn't take this as an example per se because you're in Minnesota,
Right.
but then again, it's a trend, right? Because when you really look at it, a lot of athletes tend to like build their families with white women
Right.
for whatever reason. And it's a bad thing for the black community, well, for black women, because we don't have a lot of, how would I put this, worthy men. There's not a lot of worthy men out there for women. And for black women, there's not going to be a lot of worthy single men in that pool of men to be taken available. So it's alarming. It's alarming, but I don't know. I don't know if there's a way to fix this, bro.
And I used to, I don't know for what reason, and I know for what reason, because of the fact that I have, interracial kids. So I used to feel like I have to be on the fence on that issue, and I'm not on the fence on that. It's a clear problem. It's not one. I don't want to call it a problem, but it's a clear event. It's happening. My brothers are just like gravitating towards for whatever reason. And some of the excuses, personal one myself, I'm giving was like I don't want the drama that comes with having a sister to deal with the sister because I'm quite dramatic. But it turns out, right? Living example, I'm going through the dramatic, like how dramatic it can really be dealing with a woman. And I'm not trying to point out or generalizing either. It's not a generalization.
So, do you feel like black women are way more dramatic than any other women?
Oh no! I wouldn't dare say that. I can't even speak on any kind of behavior for women. I'm saying like at some point that's probably that was an excuse that I was using to justify my
What you were doing?
dating, one person.
Okay.
And it's not because I need to justify it either. I'm just saying, like, oh, that's it. That was the excuse I was offering to people, whether it was founded or unfounded, you know. And to look back, really, I can't really say there was like a clear difference between like the kind of drama you get dating, so dating of white women. And I'm kind of glad that I have that information in a sense because I can stand there and say, okay, this is my experience. Because it's not just like dating someone. When you date someone, you also date their surroundings. You know the people they deal with. So like when you date a white person, you have a lot of people who are predominantly white that you're gonna be gathering with.
Mm-hmm.
My son's baptism, for example, I was the only black person at my own son's baptism. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So so it's not like although they're more dramatic or none of them is dramatic or they're more loyal. Not, I can't tell. There's no discerning like there's no discerning like discernible fact or tangible proof. Or there's a certain difference between like any kind of woman for my experience. Like when I'm
Mm-hmm.
dating like women, Hispanic, white, black, I don't have any preference, you know. But the issue is not about dating. I'm fearing from the subject, but it feels like the few, of the black men that are, what we or society would call like decent or whatever, tend a lot of time to be gravitated towards Caucasian women, and I don't know what the cause of that is. And because myself, I don't have a reason. There's no catalyst. Like, I can't go to a point where I say, "Oh, that reason for that reason I decided to do." There wasn't an active decision on my part, so I kind of fell into it. So maybe later on, I figure, "Oh, that's what it is." And I may look back into my own experience and go, "Oh, maybe perhaps that's where I fit into this whole theory of it." But that's alarming because I do have, sisters, daughters. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's crazy, bro.
Right.
I think, but you know what's crazy to me? I don't know if you pay attention enough to commercials. That's been the trend in most commercials. That there's a couple. If it's not a homosexual couple, it's an interracial couple, and it's been the trend for the past 2 years.
Right.
And it wasn't something I was seeing a lot, but I'm seeing a way more of it now, and I don't know why.
And there's
But
nothing wrong with it, you know.
no, of
What
course
I'm
not.
saying by that, I'm saying that it's okay to try anything for whatever reason, as long as it's that like a priori you already know shit that sister story because there's been accidental shit that people sell, toys that kill kids and stuff. So you gotta try something, you gotta create. I get creation, I get
Mhm.
innovation. But it feels like what you're saying, like that they kind of pushy, especially on the homosexual part too. Like everything now, it feels like it's a must-have ingredient for everything. And it feels like, and then as a creator myself, if I have a story, like I am forced to include that into my story, whether it makes sense or not, whether it move the story forward or not. And I think that's a barrier that everybody would need to pay attention to that.
Because it's a trend, and then you not including in your story means like you left out of the loop. Like it's like dating it, right? Wait, I just said that. It's
Women's
like,
everything is fine.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's like you dating. It's like, let's just say dreads, for example. Because now, if you look around, like everybody got
Right.
dreads, bro.
Which
Everybody got
pissed me
dreads.
off too. Imagine, look at that. Look, I'm growing my beard. But you know what I'm saying? Like when I had dread in Florida, I can't even get a freaking job. Now it's like everybody got a dread now.
As opposed to before, right? The one place I saw dreads the most was in Florida,
Right.
and then anything where else it wasn't a thing. But now you in New York, like everybody got freaking dreads. So now if you doing a movie and then you don't put people with dreads in your movie, then you're not like representing the times. So I think it's the same thing going on with these interracial couples.
And I don't like conforming to anything. I did all this time I've been in the military, man. I was like, okay, yeah, yes, sir, this is that. Like, yeah, I feel like, okay, once I get out, I put on the uniform, I kind of want to fucking shrug shit off. You
Mm-hmm.
know? Don't tell me what to do as long as I'm not like making noise in your space or I'm not disturbing you. And like, for there to be, you shouldn't be touching art, period, first of all. It shouldn't be touched. You know? And don't put an agenda into it. Like, that is what I mean. You should create, you should be innovative, but don't make it a must.
Yeah,
What makes a good painting? Well, that depends on the person.
it's
I
true.
never
Yeah.
paid attention to those things people say anyways about their evaluation of a painting. What's your opinion?
Okay.
Half the time I can paint, they can't paint, but they have all this opinion on it. Whatever.
Cause you know how people. You know what they say about
Right? You
opinions,
get what I'm
right?
saying?
You know what they say about opinions. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody got one, and they all stay
Right.
there.
You know, but I
You know what I'm
heard there
saying?
was somebody also when I was listening to self-help book. This guy said an opinion, if I'm ad libbing, but that's it's around that what he says. An opinion, if is worth if nothing at all, to be to sit upon until completely formulated, to be sure, and then you share it, if at all. If
Okay,
at
true. I
you're
agree
not
with
supposed to
that.
be sharing opinion if it's not warranted. Nobody's asking you. Keep it.
So the what's the long and short of it? What's the short of it?
Of what? Of the topic?
Yeah.
But I feel like for whatever reason, maybe the media is pushing it. Maybe um, I don't know. I haven't really paid attention to whether it's happening where like the girls also gravitate towards the Caucasian men, because I've heard some counters also on that where they say also I'm fucking sick of the playing games and what else I've said. Or lying or have multiple wives or whatnot. So so they'd be sick of that and they move over. So, but regardless, but it's more predominantly happening on that other side where men are just moving. Well, and then I'm not saying if it's gonna be a problem for us because we are a minority, we need to procreate it properly.
Yeah. And talking about procreating, you did hear about the genes, right? Like the DNA sequences that a black person has. Well, when I say black person, I'm talking about black Africans from West Africa.
Uh-huh.
They just happen to have more DNA sequences than any other race in on Earth. Um, Caucasians and everybody else is like 6 DNA sequences, which I think is the same as gorilla or ape, right?
Right,
And the only place they found any other DNA sequences other than 6 is in West Africa, where they had 9 DNA sequences. And they said the more DNA sequences you have, it's a representation of how smart you are, which basically means that those black people have something hidden in them that we do not know yet. So my thing is this, like, if you taking 9 with 6 and you meshing it, do we continue with the 9, or is that diminishing to 6 because everybody else has 6? You see what I'm saying?
yeah, I don't understand how genetics works. Even the stupid crash course they gave us in school, that thing went over my head right now. Um, but it shouldn't matter. And I know that it shouldn't matter
It
because we should
shouldn't.
propagate something about like this classification. Classification should be a thing to begin with. But
Yeah.
so far, I'm not winning the game. They're winning the game, and their game is we need to be more in numbers. So
Hmm.
until we know another rule, let's fucking stick together.
Yeah.
It sounds good. It
All right.
sounds good.
Because that's the game. That's the rule of the game so far. It seems.
Or like I said, it sounds good. Sounds good, but in order for niggas to
They call us minority, and we just okay, we minorities. Like, okay, who cares? We're small in numbers, but why we gotta go with minorities? Voice of the minority always rule. The majority rules. We always hear that. The majority rules.
Yeah.
So we're just accepting that title. Oh, I'm a minority, so I should never rule. I should never have a say.
But isn't that by
It's by number, but they're not really referring it to numbers, bro.
but shouldn't it be something like by city? Like, because certain spot of city you go to, we definitely not the minority.
I think every city, every place you go to.
most of the places I've been, the only place I have been and I seen like I felt like I was a minority was a hip hop concert.
Check this.
I got there and I was like, oh shit, it's all of them and a little bit of us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But most of the time, it's like everywhere I go, it's like mostly black people.
Because you're in an urban area,
Okay,
you're in an area you can afford.
copy.
Okay, if you take a city, you take your slow the small spot.
Hmm.
Think about the rest of those venues now that are open during that weekend.
Okay.
All of those are filled up, man, at a large quantity. You go back to PA days when you were doing production assistance.
Hmm.
Me, I'm going back to my mitzvahs days in Kaisai and in New York, okay? And that's when it dawned on me. The whole time I grew up, I mean, as I privately grew up here, the whole time I'm here, it never really, it never clicked in my head as a number thing. Never. Because, like you say, the perception is that it feels equal, it feels balanced
Hmm.
until I moved here, until I was stationed in California. Make an experience, go to the desert. Even when you're in an area where there's no fucking body, it's still gonna be less in numbers
That's true.
because it's such a large gap that it's hard for there to be like, oh, this area right here is just controlled by black people. It will be a disruption in an otherwise well-oiled machine. Man. They're not stupid to let that happen because a sparkle of fire will spread
So there's basically clusters of us in places,
places,
but
but in an overall place, man, it's large with
it's
numbers of
largely
people.
them. Okay, I agree. All right, Mac, you got anything for us, Matt?
Man, I am so hoping there will be
Yo,
an app I could just send him a text message and it flicks him.
I don't know, man. I want to go into my topic, which is what generational trauma.
Yes, sir.
Um, generational trauma, man. I don't know. It's something I've been thinking about for a while because I talk to different people and I hear their stories and I'm an empath. I'm empathetic, man. So I listen to people's stories and stuff like that. And I don't know. I think about a lot of times. I think about having kids, right? I think about having kids, and I think about the shit that they're gonna have to go through, right? And
Hmm.
so the shit that they're gonna have to go through is I think about how I was raised, right? And I think about my dad. And my dad went through a lot of shit. My dad is from he's from like the northern part of the country. He was raised like his dad was like a farmer, so he was raised on the farm. But my dad was like, nah, I don't want to be a farmer. I don't want to do this shit. I want to go to America. So he comes to America and shit like that. Um, so you think about how he was raised and the shit that he went through, and what I'm saying, like you gotta. The thing with parents is right. We grow up and shit, and we might get mad at our parents for the way that they raised us, right? But it gets to a certain point where you realize, damn, you know what? They were raising us with the best information that they got, right?
Hmm.
Like that, like whatever they got, whatever, however they was raised, that's how they raised us. So it might not have been the best case scenario, but it's like, yo, what do we do after we realize that, hey, you know what? Maybe they didn't have the best information. Maybe they didn't have the best conditioning. What do we do to make sure that our kids and our future generations don't, go through the same shit that we went through? And I think it's just making sure that we make a conscious decision, a conscious effort to say, hey, you know what? Whatever they went through, whatever that we went through, that our kids don't have to go through that shit, right?
Hmm.
Um, I've dealt with women. Women went through I dealt with women who went through like very very traumatic experiences, and I'm like, damn, what I'm saying. I want to make a conscious effort or conscious decision to make sure that my daughters or my sons don't go through the shit that their mother went through. Um, because I feel like a lot of the shit that we went through, if we don't really sit there and think about it and shit like that, we're gonna repeat the same shit
Yeah,
and the same, yeah. So whatever we went through, we're gonna pass that on to our kids, right? And
agreed.
it's not fair to them because, hey, you know what? They had no say so in the matter. But if we're just conscious enough to say, hey, you know what, we went through some traumatic shit, they don't have to go through the same shit that we went through.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing that when they're talking about 1% whatever, and it's not a selected group. It's just mathematics. It's just like one small percentage of people that decided to think like you're thinking and say, okay, I don't want this bullshit, you know. And like, okay, then the odds, okay, it's just small in numbers. And and you know what, man? Looking back, I get it. I get why it happens, and I know how we would be able to change it, but it's hard. How is it hard? It's like me personally, I don't know anyone in my lineage at all who's had a business. I will have been the first. You follow what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's not the case for a lot of my friends who are on the other, the other side of the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
They hear uncle so and so have a bill, uncle and so, or he does that. That's what he does. It's a paradigm. It's not in the black people's paradigm to be entrepreneur. The entrepreneurship, this whole wave right now is very new. Even with Oprah being a billionaire, even with who else? Tyler Perry, forget it. That's brand new. That's like he's still on the shelf. Or even with the people back in the days who I don't know who's a black person that said hop stuff on Oprah. You follow what I'm saying? You see how I'm stuck on Oprah? Like it's a very brand new thing. This whole like black people want to be entrepreneur, they want to run business and stuff like that. We've tried and they shut us up. And think about the slave woke up again and just make us wow, you know. And it's only now that even though they say no, you're like fuck no. The internet is making it almost impossible now for them to shut it down. But it's very new.
I think to break generational trauma, you need to make a change, right? So you have to understand where it stems from, and whatever you do realize where it's coming from, then you change that, right? So if your parents, like you said, they raise you with the best information they know how. You know what I'm saying? The best way they know how, right? So what you have to realize is like, what is it that you can do different for the future generations to evolve? Because unless you make a change, who's to say that your son's gonna have the perception to be like, hey, I gotta make a change for the better because we're stuck in a loop. You know what I'm saying? So once you do realize that there's generational trauma and you stuck, you're the one that have to make the change in order to like change things for the future.
It's a
Right.
simple switch. Remove fees for college. That would solve it so much faster.
What? Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people who would want to go to college. They don't because they can't. Okay? And then if it's available to everyone, then those who choose not to really choose not to. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It'll balance it up.
Sure.
But for if somebody know, oh, go to school, get a good career, and you get a pension. Go to school, get a good career, you're gonna get a pension.
Bro,
It's
like, do you
hard. Once
you
you
know how
see
many
those,
people I know that's been working their whole lives and never even thought of getting a pension for it, bro?
Man,
Like they'll work forever. Like they'll work here 6 years, there 7 years, here 5 years, and then retire, right? Basically, like when they reach their retirement age, they just retire, and then they got nothing to show for it, bro. That little social security check come, and that's all they got to survive on, bro.
I would say 85% of Haiti,
Yeah.
without even exaggerating, without 85% of Haiti, here's their life cycle. They're born, like every kids, they play, they dream, they invent. And that's if it's permitted by their parents, because the parent never done that. And then, if at all they go to school, they go to like some kind of, if you're in the city only in the city,
Yeah.
they'll go to kindergarten or something, and that's it. And then this person never know how to write their name, and this person ended up having kids. This is not someone I'm inventing. There's two of them who grew up under the same roof as I did.
Hmm.
I don't know if Pedro can write a, he'll probably write his name, but he'll be like a toddler did that, you know? And then he has muscle, and then you use your muscle, they use the muscle for labor, for odd jobs and stuff like this. Somebody paying you to do this for them, like a child, not even a child thing, like, a do boy or do girl,
Hmm.
you do this for me and do this, whatever. I don't have any clue if a woman don't have a man in Haiti, how they survive without prostitution.
Exactly.
I don't have a clue.
Like back in the days,
And
it.
then no one sitting down and thinking about that. A lot of girls wasted in Haiti, wasted.
But listen, back in the days, I think it was easier because you could stretch that American dollar further than now. Now it's like dollar for dollar almost, right, in Haiti. Like if you're buying a Snicker bar in Haiti, you're probably going to end up paying $2 instead of the 125 it costs over here, which is crazy to me because I'm buying a Snicker bar in a country where the money is not the same money, but I'm paying like more for it. It's like going to a club, right? You go to a club
Right, right.
and you buy drinks, and it costs so much for the fucking drink, but you could go to the liquor store
You
and
buy a
it'll be
whole
like a
pack.
fraction of the price.
Right.
So it just doesn't make sense to me how people can survive in Haiti and they have no jobs and no way to survive.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like, look, I don't even have to go far. I, I, I sit back and think, if I think back from even myself, like when I'm thinking about how much it takes to feed people in Haiti or whatever, like how the fuck did we eat every day? I don't know. Like I have no clue.
Mm.
I, man,
For real.
Relationships, right? That's where we're going with that. All right. Now for my topic, right? Let me ask y'all something. Y'all ever did it outside your race? Well, I know you have, Luigi. What about you,
I,
Mac?
What do you call dating?
Significant other, looking towards the future, trying to build something together.
Nah.
Okay. Smash, you had a smash joint
Yes, yes.
outside your race.
he,
Okay.
he was excited about it. It must have been a good experience.
Nigga, I smashed. I remember the first. I don't know. This is a couple white chicks I used to deal with, but the first real white chick that I dealt with like on a real long term level was this chick, man, from Maine. Yo, son, she was she was an angel. But yo, it was a smash thing. I can never see myself actually dealing with her like real on some real shit. Like she said it one time to me. She's like, "Yo, you fuck with me." She's like, "You fuck with me, but I don't think you take me seriously as a girlfriend." And I at that moment in time, I didn't really think about it. But yeah, seriously, I probably wouldn't have taken her as a girlfriend.
But
There was
why
another
is
chick.
there a reason for that?
Um, yeah, I just didn't take it seriously as a white chick. I'm like I could never really see myself with a white chick like that. There was another white. There's another white chick that I messed with. Yo, I love it to this day. Like we had a conversation like 3 days ago, and it was like a 4 hour conversation. I swear to God. Um, Gorgeous white girl, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. But I don't know. I don't. I don't think I could ever take it seriously. Gorgeous white girl, very,
Let me
very.
get on this though. Why for you? Why you think you would?
Um, I don't know. I always tell myself with the black woman.
Okay.
Mhm. Now, like I said, that doesn't take away from how much of how good of a person she is. Like I said she's gorgeous. She's a gorgeous white woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I could sit there and look at her face all day. She's just gorgeous.
Okay.
But
Hard pause.
okay,
Hard pause. Are you racist?
am I racist? No, I love everybody.
Okay.
But I'm pro black,
Okay.
and I feel like me dealing with somebody. I feel like it makes better sense from dealing with somebody who knows my struggle, who knows shit that I've been through. Um, like we're all human, but let's not fake like we don't grow up differently, or we don't face certain things because of our upbringing or our race. It's a real thing.
Right.
Okay.
So I'd rather deal with somebody who knows my struggle, who understands the plight of a black man. Um, I think that's very important for me.
Okay. Okay. How about you, Louis?
Um.
What was your experience like dating a white woman as
It's not.
opposed to anything else?
I went to a whole wave of that. Like I have no particular. You know what? To be quite honest, I do have a passion for Caucasian women,
Okay.
and um, I can't put my finger on it either. I have zero dislike for sisters. My wife's black, so it's it's just it's just so happened, and you know what? To be quite honest, my wife kind of brought me a white person, but that has nothing to do with it. With the reason why I'm with her. My problem with it is the fucking Carinos. The Carinos are the brothers who are married to a Caucasian, and all of a sudden they're carrying too.
Wait, you call them what? Carinos?
Carinos,
What the fuck is a Carinos though?
tiny carrots,
Okay. All right.
because they're even smaller, you know.
Okay. Okay.
Eh, I'm dating a white woman. I should be privileged too.
Okay.
You
Got you.
know, I'm sick of them. Let's just bash them real quick. Just fucking, they just jump on there, touche. They just like, I was dealing with one of them, and thank God he's fired, Um, I was at this old place, and every day he has a complaint. Every day. Like a cocky woman, you know?
Okay.
He had an issue with the coffee, a free coffee that we had at work.
Okay.
Yeah, Carinos are the worst. They, I will please surround my whole universe with Karens. Don't leave me in a room with one Carino. That's all I want.
Got you.
Hold on,
That's
hold
it.
on, hold on. Let's go back to Carito. What the fuck is Carito?
Where the hell you been, man? Jump on this. Let's just bash it. Let's
It's
just really
a
bash it.
it's a black man that dates white women, and he acts like, "Ugh, I'm dating white women." So, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Oh, I see
Like,
pink
oh,
every
my wife
day.
is white type
Right.
shit. Like
Pink
he
lips.
like he should be privileged. Like he, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I get the pink
That's a
lips. It's a big
carinos.
deal. What I'm saying is that I can't stand them.
Okay.
You know, they should always forget umbrellas on rainy days. That's what I'm saying.
Mm,
Mm.
Yeah. It's
mm.
just, but on interracial relationship, I do feel though that it's one of the solutions to end racism. You can't talk shit about anything if you have your foot on both sides.
True.
You kind of put in on shit.
Okay.
And at least things won't ever go too far. You know what I'm saying? You could always hold. You can hate Arthur, the uncle. Who's like half, but we, you might just kind of like we're not gonna hang him. It's still uncle.
You say we ain't gonna hang him. We ain't gonna hang him. He's still an uncle.
You know
That's
what I'm saying?
crazy, bro.
You know what I mean? Like, oh fuck you know what I mean?
But I I don't mind an interracial relationship. I just don't like an interracial relationship where the dude is way older than the woman and he's white, like a white man and a black woman that's mad young. Like for some reason,
Like someone you should be smashing.
no, let me tell you what my problem with that is, right? I spent many
Well, that's
nights
the
on
case for
South
me. I
Beach.
should be smashing her.
I spent many nights on South Beach, right? And to me, when I see that, it feels like prostitution because most of the young women I was trying to holler at, a car will stop. It'll be a white man, or older white man driving a convertible,
Okay.
just looks at her, waves her over, she hops on, they drive off. They don't even know each other. So most of the prostitutes wouldn't give me the time of day because I was a young black man in my early 20s in South Beach. But once they see that car pull up with that old white man, they out. You know what I'm saying? So from that moment, every time I see a younger black woman with an older white man, I'm like, oh, that looks like prostitution to me. But
Mm,
aside from that, I don't really have a problem with it. My
I'm gonna
only
keep an eye
issue,
on you just in case, this is like a intro, that early start of a serial killer. I'm gonna keep an eye on you. I'm gonna call you a little more
nah,
often.
it's not even that. But listen to this though.
Call you late, see what you're up to.
The people, the people I don't like being in an interracial relationship are those people that do it just to change their race. Because
mm,
I don't know if it's a thing any other place, but in Haiti, I know in Haiti, a lot of black women teach their kids if they can have an opportunity to be with a white man, to be with a white man, pour changer la race, because they trying to change the future generation from looking the way they look.
mm.
I have a problem with that.
I don't I don't know if I have a problem with it. I mean, I don't teach that. I don't have any kind of preference. I guess I feel bad for a person who think that way. That's all. Like
It's
that you have to,
unfortunate.
because like I feel bad for. There's a lot of black people who really hold some like hard resentment. And like kind of low key. That's what I was kind of tap into when he was talking. Like this, I want to make sure. I want to make sure that my friends are a certain way.
No,
You
I'm
know,
good.
and I mean that. And I mean that. Like in a sense, like you don't have to be like, oh my god, I'm gonna show solidarity and this and this, but why the fuck you gonna hate somebody based on their color, man? I get that. I get no sense out of that at all. And there was this chick, there was some chick, I told you about her,
Hmm.
who was appalled by the fact that she found out that I was the one person. Like, how could you, how dare you? Like, what the hell? I mean, like, there's people who are extreme, man, their thoughts. And I'm like,
Yeah.
and that's what's scary about when you think about, like, how the majority of white people are racist. That's a fact, bro. That's a hard fact. And
That's a
that's the
big fact.
scary stuff. The majority.
I've I've dated outside my race before, and I enjoyed it, son. I can't even say I had a problem with it at all. Like, Shorty was really like a good person. I mean, I think it was because of probably the time that I was dating a white woman, because I slowed down a lot around that time. I wasn't as active as I was, and like she was more mature. She was older than me, so it was a real calm relationship. It was a real cool relationship. I actually was trying to build for the future. But the problem was because she was the side chick and we were trying to like work it into like me and her being exclusive, but it was taking long because my situation was a little bit complicated. So she started being really needy and really depressed, always crying. You're not gonna be with me. I'm never gonna have you. And it kind of got too. It was like a downer at the end. It became like a downer, bro.
Those are clues to get started,
That feel
though.
that feel like deja vu, man. Go ahead.
Right? It became a downer, and I was like, damn. Like every time I was around her, she was crying. I was like, oh, here we go again, bro. You know what I'm saying? But all she had to do is be patient because I really wanted to be with this chick, son. But when it got to that point, I was like, I don't know. I don't know if that's what I heard.
I didn't have that issue, man. My bitch, like, well, first of all, we moved out of the country, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But to me, I don't know how long those lasted, but my car was lengthy. You tend to forget, right? Like, cause it's the whole thing. Like, I don't think, like, to me, my experience, like, you don't consciously know you were a white person. At least that's for me. You know, you tend to forget. It's just a normal thing, you know, until the backpack and the fucking Air Force One and the fucking leggings. But until that, you know, you tend to forget, you know. Because like sooner or later they're gonna fucking backpack again and the goddamn Air Force One. You know, oh shit, this fucking one. You know what I'm talking about. You're right there in New York, man. They're all over the fucking place, clogging up goddamn traffic, dancers. You know,
Backpack, Air Force One, and leggings.
right? All of a sudden, hip hop is cool. You know,
Yeah.
um, but you don't consciously know that you. To me, that's my experience. You know, you don't consciously know, and I guess maybe also having lived in a barracks full of white people, like that's why I'm like baffled too. Like how some of these motherfuckers can spend all this time being with quite a few of us, and then still go back home being a fucking asshole, racist. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I'm
It doesn't
clueless
make sense.
on that.
And you know what's funny?
But it's a yes for me on interracial shit.
What's funny is the girl I'm talking about was also a dancer, which is weird, right?
It's a good smash. They deserve it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely.
You know, like a full service kind of smash.
Yeah. I mean, I guess those hip hop dancers got a thing for black men. Maybe that's what motivates it to begin with. So,
Mhm.
The piping, bro. It's piping.
right.
That conversation don't fucking take a long time before it occurs, though. I'm being serious.
What conversation?
The dick conversation. Come on now. They
Right.
bring it up. They straight up bring it up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they ask about penises and shit.
Yeah. I mean, they way more bold than a
I
lot
think
of,
so.
yeah, they way more bold than a lot of sisters are. I think to a certain extent, and a little freakier too. That fellatio is around the corner anytime. You know what I'm
All
saying?
right.
It's about to just happen. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It's almost like it's a must. Like, it's like part of the menu.
yeah, yeah. For them, I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't.
It's part of the action.
It, well, I
I've
hate to
got it.
say
Yeah.
I
I've,
I hate to
Mack did
say
it too.
black women don't do the same thing, but a lot of them
What happened
don't.
to Mack?
Oh, he's probably gonna come back soon. We lost him.
Oh, I
Yeah,
don't get it though. Sometimes what's weird is like, because I'm not big on that. I don't care. So, oh, okay, that's enough. It's a surprise. Like, oh
yeah,
shit.
but you know what's funny? I feel like black women only do it if you do them. Like if you
I
do
think
them, then
so.
they feel like okay, I owe him. I gotta do it back. But if you don't
Right.
do them, they like, oh no, I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, yeah, you never done it before in your life. All right, bet. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're a fucking lie. You already know you're a fucking lie.
Oh man.
Coeval.
Noun,
A person of roughly the same age as oneself. Adjective.
having the same age or date of origin.
The geologist displayed rock specimens that were coeval to the suspected meteor activity.
I'm showing my age, only my coevals will understand that pop culture reference.